So this video is for everybody who feels like life is just really hard right now. And maybe you feel like you're failing. Maybe you feel like you can't even go on. Maybe you just don't know what the F is happening. You are right on time. You are right on time. Every single thing that's happening, both collectively and cosmically, and all the things energetically, it is like splitting us open. We are, getting to see behind the curtain. Massive light came in to shine a light on all of the darkness within and without. And that can feel really, really painful. So we're getting to see, some of our deepest pain, some of the deepest parts of ourselves that maybe we didn't even know was there, or maybe we didn't want to admit was there, and having to face the darkness that seemingly just won't stop in ourselves, in others. And then same thing, the micro reflects the macro. So in the world, just literally, the world is literally burning, and by no accident. So we are being pressure cooked from an internal space of needing to see what's here so that we can heal it and feel it and move through it, because that's how we become more light. That's how we become more whole. That's how we collect all these pieces of ourselves that have been buried for so long and love them back into wholeness. And also from the outside, we're getting to see the grossest, darkest stuff that a lot of people haven't known was here. So if you're one of those people that hasn't been privy to the horrors of the negative agenda, or whatever you want to call them, welcome to reality. And it is hard to see and understand what has been going on for the last several years and the last several decades and the last several centuries. But it's all coming to a head now. And it needs to, because we are living in a world that is being essentially run by darkness, and that's not going to be happening anymore. We are all waking up, and we are all returning to what is real and what is natural and what is organic and what is the way we were meant to be. And it is time. And so it is time to see all of the shit within. It is time to see all of the shit without, so that we can do what we came here to do, which is understand who we are in a fundamental, deepest sense, spirits in a body. Returning to our bodies, returning to nature, returning to source, showing up for what is really important, showing up for ourselves, for the people that we love, returning our life to one of wholeness and natural being in whatever way that looks like for you, whether that's living on the land, or whether it's, gardening on your little back patio, or spending time in the park with your kids, eating organic, or doing yoga, whatever it looks like for you to return home within. That's what we're being called to do. So all of the deepest stuff is coming up. We're able to see behind the curtain, because if we don't have the power. Remember Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz? All she had to do the whole time was click her heels together. She had the power all along within herself. And that there were lots of scary things happening that felt out of her control. But the entire time, it was some tiny little scared man behind a curtain with his big operation. That is exactly what is happening right now. No one else has power over us. No one else has the capacity to destroy our planet or our world. It is simply just the death of all things painful and all things old and all things dark. And it is all coming up to a head right now. The light is shining on it. It is ugly. It is painful. And it is absolutely happening for us. Every single gross piece, even the parts of yourself that you're like, oh my God, I cannot believe I just did that or said that or experienced that. It is part of you, a very innocent part of you, coming up to be loved because it has been trapped below the surface by your lovely divine body temple, your intelligent design of your body, because it wasn't ready to come up before. It is time now. It is time to see all the darkness so that we may love it back into wholeness. And I don't mean that you have to go out and love all the crazy shit happening in the world. I mean, whatever's happening within you, see where it affects you, see the pieces, whether it's holy rage or deep depression or sadness, just being with those pieces of you and collecting them back, and then taking whatever inspired action. My inspired action is just anchoring the light and not letting that affect me and not complying to all the bullshit that they come up with. Anchoring into myself as an organic human, living in a way that honors myself and my family and my divinity, and not listening to anyone else's ridiculous rules of how I need to live, because no one gets to tell me how I need to live and what is best for me. We all know that for ourselves, but in order to know that, we have to return to our own wholeness. We have to return to our bodies. We have to be available to feel our feelings. We have to get our bare feet on the ground. We have to get out in nature. We have to return to source, whether that's through prayer or meditation or church, whatever feels good to you. We are being called to wake up in a massive way, to return home within. It is much like we're at war, both internally and externally, and we're just here to love everything back into wholeness, to recognize what's here, to see it all, to recognize, okay, here's where we're at, here's what's real. But let me remember overall what is real, that I am a divine spirit in a body. And I have so much power and so much divine intelligence within my body that I have the capacity to move through anything, no matter what is happening in your life right now. Do not give up. It is happening for you, no matter how hard it is. Don't give up. Keep walking forward, even if you feel like you can only take one half step every day, or even if you feel like you take 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. Just keep walking. Just keep walking forward and rest as much as you need to rest. I have been working through so much frustration within my being because I have needed more rest than I can possibly even express. And I have so many things that I really truly want to do, and I don't have the life force to do them. I've just been called to rest. My whole entire system is being reformatted. And imagine many of you are working through the same thing. We are being completely reformatted. If you're eating organically and if you're taking care of your body, you are being completely reformatted. And if you're not, I would highly suggest you start doing that now. Stop eating poison, stop taking in poison, whether it's from media, whether it's from the water, from the food. Eat real, organic, whole foods from nature as much as you can get. Drink living water, so from a spring or through a filter that then you add back living capacities through like lemon or cucumber, or bless the water. Get your attention off of harmful and toxic things or people. Return home. Return to your body. Return to nature. Return to source. You can do that by going out in the morning, every morning, bare feet, feet on the ground, just connecting to source and to Gaia and to your body. Doing a prayer for the day or an intention or a blessing. Do that every single morning and just keep moving forward. I promise it will get better, but it might look worse before it gets better. And I also promise that everything is happening for us. So just remember that. Just say, okay, how is this possibly happening for me? Even if you don't know why, even if you don't get an answer, just know that it is, and just keep taking the next inspired action. Do the next right thing. That's a great song from Frozen 2. When Anna thinks all hope is lost, then I'm going to do the next right thing. That's all you can ever do. Just do the next right thing. Don't give up. You're not failing. Apologize and start over if you've, just blown up at your kids or your spouse or had a mental breakdown. It's just simply the parts of ourselves that have been held for so long, coming up for air, coming up for light, coming up for love. Hold them, get help if you need help, and just keep moving forward. Don't give up. We will get through this. The light is actually winning. I know it doesn't feel like it, but it is what is happening. So many blessings.